If you're the kind of viewer that loves jaw-dropping vistas and sketchy cliffside trails that make you involuntarily clench, you might want to swipe left on this one. This trail video has picnic tables, interpretive signs, and a trail that's mobility friendly that'll make you feel like you're 25 all over again. Welcome to dad and kid level adventuring. Hello, Mr. Froggy. Good catch in the wild with Kyle. Durable dads, brothers from other mothers, and sisters from different misters. Thanks for tuning in. I've got another take a hike video, and this time we are doing one of the ultra easy yet highly satisfying trails around Kamloops, and that is Isobel Lake. Okay, the reason why I say ultra easy, there has a little bit of something for everything at this site, but really it's well maintained, it's mobility friendly. Okay, so it's one of the few trails around that can boast wheelchair access. It's about the main loop around the lake. If you hug it, is about an hour. Flat, hard packed, really easy. So if you're looking for something to take the littles and yourself on a hike and learn a little bit more about the flora and fauna that's around here, this is your gig. A few things to note about Isobel Lake. It's about 20 minutes from the bottom of the hill up to the turnoff and then into the parking lot. Not far, well maintained, slightly washboardy road, but you can take just about any vehicle up here to get in. No cell service, so that would be something to take note of. There's lots of signage, not only for the plants and species around here, but also the trails are really well marked, including there's wheelchair signs that let you know that this trail is mobility friendly, which I think is pretty cool. It's a Kamloops staple, and again, every field trip in the and school district in the land has done this at least once. McQueen Lake has a nature interpretive center that does the science camps or the outdoor science camps for high schoolers. My daughter has done them. They're pretty cool. We're really blessed to have this. So if you're looking for something that'll give you a little taste of nature, there's a campsite here, so if you head down a little bit farther in, there's 19 campsites. They're really well maintained. It's the lake itself, Isobel, is well stocked with trout, so there's fishing. So you're going to get your kayaking, your fishing, your boating, your camping all in one, plus the trails. This is a great site, and it would be a massive oversight on my part if I didn't feature this one. Anyways, I'm done talking and rambling on. I'm itching to get my hike in. Again, this isn't going to be elevating the blood pressure or heart rate too incredibly much, but I will get my steps in. Anywho, let's get to the next clip and examine the gear. Okay, kids, what's the gear we're going to take on our little, I have to call it a stroll today, because that's really what it is. 3.2 km around the lake, about an hour, easy walking, lots of gawking. It'll be great. Anyways, what we're taking. The Stuntman. Okay, last used on the PFD. Adapted to the strap of the day pack. The Kona's coming with. We're packing super simple. What do we need? Well, not the tripod. I'm going to attach the charger, the portable power bank, and see if I can destroy it like Kyle did. Of course, the compass, so I don't get lost. People tell me to get lost all the time. I refuse to do it. Okay, action cam, obviously. We're going to get some body cam views. And the med kit. Okay, this is really easy, and I don't foresee anybody like really hurting themselves on this. But anytime I'm out of cell service, even though this is a pretty well frequented spot, I'm going to take the med pack anyway. All right, enough talking, more walking. Okay, I was going to give you some body cam footage. But there's in the wild with Kyle up ahead, filming, talking, not being natural. Anyways, yeah, stupid dumb YouTubers. Okay kids, time to embark on our little traily adventure. We're at one of the trailheads, and as you can tell, we are here. So it's just a short little jog into the lake. Campground's over there. We should have gone there just to make it easier. So anyways, looks like there's a little island. Great to paddle. We're coming back here for that. And we're just gonna do the loop and head on back up. Anyways, it is 1:16. Let's mark the time and see how close to the hour we're gonna be. Let's get rolling. So while we wait for YouTubers to not catch up but go ahead along the trail, so we can have a much more natural experience, we are going to do our plant du jour. Okay, this happens to be thimbleberry, which Seek is not telling me anything about currently because, you know what, there's no cell service. But what I will do is when I am back in and I can find out more from the library de Seek, I will let you know more about this common species to the area. Anyways, back to the hike. Interesting little side note. Somebody has been harvesting birch bark and has gotten the low-hanging fruit and peeled off some birch bark for their fire starting kit. Pretty cool idea, and now that's taken. Now I have to find my own damn tree. Okay, this is obviously quite recent and about the right height to just kind of step over if you're careful without ripping important bits off. Be careful of that, obviously. But I don't need to remind you of that. I will, however, remind you that this is perhaps not so wheelchair friendly, unless you're into the limbo. In keeping with what I discovered at McConnell with the scrunchie incident, here we find kids' mitts. Okay, these gloves, or mitts actually, more technically, are just sitting here adorning the trail marker post. So I don't know whether this is a silent tribute to missing clothes, missing kids, missing people. Don't know. Anyways, it's a disturbing trend. One of the cooler amenities at Isobel Lake is what's affectionately called the Forest Inn. It's a A-frame structure. It's basically a covered structure. Big enough for 4 picnic tables. Lots of people. Great family outing spot if you wanted to pack everything in. Yeah, it's overlooking an incredible spot. Here, let me do the switcheroo. Nice and slow right there. We've got picnic tables behind me, and you can see down there a grilling spot to barbecue. You can cook up your food. Behind me is some gratuitous lake footage. Don't let me forget to get you some gratuitous lake footage. I think there's a dock just a few steps up the way. So anyways, back to the Forest Inn. Great spot, lovely amenity. I don't know if you can see the dock over my left shoulder here, but it's pretty occupied. There's a couple of people trying their luck casting in. I wish them the best. A couple of people seated just taking in the scenery. As you can see, there's a bar for swimming. So this is a nice little swimming spot, fishing spot. Now, if you were so inclined to while away an afternoon, I can't think of a better spot to do it. So here we are at the end of the camping ground and the true trailhead and boat launch for Isobel Lake. Now, I think I'm up over somewhere there, parked with Lou. Every time I come here, I park in the upper parking lot, which is ridiculous because I could just drive down here. It's not very busy. I could have just parked right there and started right here. But no, I apparently have to hike back to Lou now. Oh well. So be it. Lest I forget the gratuitous nature lake footage, I would be remiss. Something tells me this is a popular place to fish, this little area here. Rod holder number 1, rod holder number 2, rod holders number 3 and 4. Yeah, this is a fishing spot if I ever did see one. Well, the vista, hell yeah. What happens when you stumble upon a perfectly placed Saskatoon berry tree, right, perfectly positioned on the road? You avail yourself of some seasonal, ripe and incredibly tasty little nuggets. Granted, it's a bit drier, so they're not super bursting like juicy, but they're pretty amazing. They make anything from muffins to pies, so if you get a chance to harvest yourself some Saskatoon berries and find a good spot, they're worth having. All right, kids, there you have it. Total time, well, it's around 3 o'clock, and we started at 1:15, so 1 hour and 45. So it is probably an hour around if you were to start down in the campground, which is, and by the boat launch, which is where we should have started. But no, I had to be parking up here in the boonies by the upper trailhead. That's fine. What did I forget? Nothing. Did forget to park down in the more accessible zone. There now little particulars. Not super heavy today for traffic, but there were people. One of the docks was taken up by a fisherman and son, and a couple people filming. Fantastic. Blew right past that. There is another dock that I didn't go to that's more than suitable for some fishing. Beautiful spot. So there's plenty of it. There's lots of benches and rest areas. The Forest Inn is amazing. This has got something for everybody in the family. So if you're looking for truly family friendly camping, this is it. No motorized vehicles are allowed, so you can't bring the quad in, motorcycle, unless it's your main conveyance. So, but you won't have a lot of like motorized vehicles ripping around. No motors on the lake, so you are good to go. Should you come up here and want to fish and paddle, I want to do both. I've hiked it. I feel satisfied. My kid has seen it many times throughout her school history, so this is nothing new to her. However, for anybody that hasn't been here, highly recommended. Again, it's a cool 20 minutes, half an hour out of town. They say 40 from downtown. That tracks. So it's not far. The road is well maintained. Some potholes, gravel most of the way, but well worth it. Beautiful, well-appointed spot. I'm glad I came, got some steps in, got the juices flowing. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this. And as always, I will keep the coffee warm and the gear dirty. Or in this case, I'm keeping it real sweaty. Peace out, Scout.